Crypto mining could be one of the best ways to passively earn Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies every single day. Now, it is falsely believed that you need to be an expert at computer programming and also with electronics. So what does it really take to get started with zero experience? Well, first of all, it is very obvious that crypto mining can be a very profitable venture. Putting new coins into circulation on a blockchain and validating transactions keeps the whole system going. So it is no surprise that miners get rewarded for their work. But the process of mining isn't free, and sometimes it may not even be a suitable option for everyone. So let's consider in this video what should you take into account before starting mining cryptocurrencies. If you are watching this video, make sure to watch it until the end, as the information of the video will be building up all along, and I'm pretty sure you will be surprised about some things I will tell you about cryptocurrency mining that you didn't know about. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to go down below and press the like and subscribe button for more content like that. Welcome to Crypto, my name is Xavi, and in today's video I will break down everything you need to know about mining cryptocurrencies, from what to consider before buying the mining hardware, show you how to make sure you are profitable, to give you some tricks and tips. Let's dive straight into it. First of all, you can mine a wide variety of different cryptocurrencies, but some are more profitable than others. Some of them are cheaper or simpler to mine, so it's important to know the ins and outs of your desired coin before you jump into the mining process. On top of that, it is important to check the market performance of the token you want to mine. That is because the cryptocurrency market is incredibly volatile and the price of a coin could change drastically at any moment. Remember that if the value of a coin is either low or prone to dropping, you won't receive the same kind of rewards as you would mining a more stable, valuable token. To mine cryptocurrencies, you need specific hardware, exactly as mining minerals require having certain tools. This specific hardware can range from the pre-existing CPUs in your device to an ASIC miner, which stands for an application-specific integrated circuit miner, that could set you back for a couple of $1,000s. Though the idea of simply using your CPU seems pretty convenient, CPU mining is quickly becoming outdated, as it can lead to overheating, and the mining process itself can be time-consuming and very energy inefficient. This is why many choose using either a GPU or an ASIC miner. You can buy a GPU for a few $100s, but the high-end options can range in the thousands. Moreover, some older inefficient ASIC miners can cost as little as a few $100s, but newer efficient ASIC miners can cost as much as a brand new car. So because of the expense of this type of hardware, it is important to do some research about how much it will cost you getting started for the type of mining you want to do. During the research, I would mainly focus on the token suitability, the initial investment, and the running costs. That leads me straight into my third point. Not all cryptocurrencies can be mined by all hardware. So before buying any hardware, make sure that it can mine the cryptocurrency you are planning to. Trust me, this can end up saving you thousands of dollars. In case you already have hardware suitable for mining, you should check which coins your hardware is designed for mining before setting your sights on any specific token. Now, along with the upfront hardware costs, running a node using your hardware and computer on a long-term basis is very energy intensive and will cause your monthly energy bill to significantly increase, which is totally normal. That's proof of work, but just be aware of it. This often comes down to block time and hash rate. The hash rate is a measure of the computational power per second used when mining, or in simple words, we could say it is the speed of mining, meaning how many calculations per second can be performed. The block time refers to the amount of time it takes for a miner to verify the transactions of one whole block. The longer the block time, the more energy you may be using for solving one block, and a higher hash rate will lead to a more expensive electricity bill. However, you can predict how much you will pay per month to keep the miner 24/7 on. You just need to find out how much power does it consume and how much are you paying per kilowatt hour, which should be stated in your electricity bill. Also, keep in mind that the hardware will deteriorate over time, so eventually you will have to replace the miner. However, if the miner operates under normal conditions, it will mine you plenty of crypto and make you some good money, so don't worry about it. Now, before you start having second thoughts about all this mining due to the expenses related to it, I want to remind you that although it is true that there are some costs related to it, at the end you are obtaining cryptocurrency out of it. So you invest in hardware and electricity, and in return you get a cryptocurrency. Now, the next thing to consider once you have researched what cryptocurrency to mine, what type of miner you want to use, and you have figured out all the costs associated with mining, the next thing you need to think about is whether to do solo or pool mining. As the name suggests, solo mining involves running a node and mining crypto on your own, while pool mining involves joining a mining pool along with multiple other miners. In short, allows for a more reliable stream of income, as in that case, miners commit a certain amount of computing power to the pool and the rewards gained from mining a block using all the members' power are handed out in proportion to how much power was provided by each user. So basically, your reward will be proportional to how much computational power you commit to the pool, which, as mentioned before, is also referred to as hash rate. Nonetheless, keep in mind that mining pools normally charge a fee, which will be taken out of your reward, so you should include that to your mining plan. Though this form of mining is more reliable, the rewards will not be as high as you would receive by mining alone doing the so-called solo mining. This is because solo miners get to keep the entire mining reward, but the likelihood of mining a block alone is extremely much lower than the one of mining in a pool, as the amount of computing power will be insignificant compared to the one of a mining pool, except if your intentions are building a massive mining farm. But I guess that's not the case in the 99% of the viewers of this video. So nowadays, solo mining is seen as more of a gamble, and generally joining a mining pool is the way to go unless you want to set up a mining farm big enough to compete with all the mining pools out there for the reward of mining a cryptocurrency. Now, the most important thing to consider before getting started with mining cryptocurrencies is to make sure it is legal to do so in the country you are planning to mine, as currently not all of them consider the mining activity as legal. Alright guys, said all of that, I want to show you how I would put into practice all we talked in this video with the following example. First of all, assuming that mining is legal in the country I want to do so, the crypto to mine in this example will be Bitcoin. The hardware I'll be using is the ASIC Bitcoin miner S19. The miner algorithm and cryptocurrency is SHA-256, and the miner can mine BTC, BCH and BSV, which by the way, in Bitcoin the SHA-256 or secure hash algorithm 256 is used for the mining process, or in plain words, the creation of bitcoins, but also in the process of generating Bitcoin addresses. This is so due to the high level of security it offers. Now, the hash rate of my Bitcoin miner S19, so basically the hash rate of my hardware, is 95 terahashes per second, and the power the hardware consumes powered on a wall at 25 degrees, 3250 watts, and the power efficiency at 25 degrees is 34.5 joules per terahash. Now, for those of you who are wondering how did I find all this data, well, it is very simple to do so. The first thing you want to do is go on the internet and find the company that sells crypto miners. Now, one of the most famous ones due to their proven performance are the ant miners sold by Bitmain. So for this example, I will use an ant miner. By the way, this is not a paid sponsorship or anything like that. I'm just communicating the facts out there. So go to their webpage. Now, once you're inside here, you want to go to ant miners, and then the webpage will pretty much show you all the ant miners they have. As you can see here, things can get very pricey, up to, as you can see here, $20,000. In fact, this is a hydrocooling miner, so as you can see here, the technology is developing very fast. But anyway, for this example, we're gonna use a Bitcoin miner S19, so you press on it, and there you go. Here you have all the information you need to know. You can just scroll down a bit, and then you can see here the model, the algorithm and cryptocurrencies that you can mine with, the hash rate, the power on wall, the power efficiency, how to power the miner, also the hardware configuration, also the operation temperature, the storage temperature, the operation humidity, and even the operation altitude. Also here you have some notes, so it is very simple to set up, and it is made in a way so it's hard to mess up. Now, continuing the practical example, I want to talk about the real cost related regarding the hardware we have selected. So first of all, the initial investment, $3,990. Now, the electricity price per kilowatt hour, let's just use $0.14 per kilowatt hour. That's just the current price in some places in the United States. However, I know in many other countries they pay 2 to 3 or even 4 times less than that, especially in South America. Now, the miner technical specifications specify that the power it consumes at 25 degrees is 3250 watts, which is the same as 3.25 kilowatt hour. So you can see here that the monthly running costs are gonna be by multiplying how many kilowatts hours it consumes per hour. So once we know how many kilowatts hour does the miner consume per hour, and also how much we pay per kilowatt hour, we can easily find how much are we gonna pay in electricity if we keep it running 24/7 for a whole month, which is exactly $327 per month in electricity with no surprises. Now that we have talked about the expenses related to crypto mining, I want to talk about the profit of it. First of all, as you can see here in the first row, I have included the expenses we just talked about, and I also have included the monthly electricity cost calculations for a country with cheaper electricity. In this case, I've used a country that pays around $0.04 per kilowatt hour, which is the case in some other countries in the globe. So the profit of solo mining is unpredictable and unreliable, as perhaps you never solve a block in years, or perhaps you solve one block next week and you get the whole mining reward. Now, say you join a mining pool. In this case, I will use a mining pool called Ant Pool, as it is one of the most top in the world. Once again, this is not a paid sponsorship. So the first thing to do is search on the internet the mining pool you're going to use. As I said, I'm going to be using Ant Pool, so I'm going to press on it. Now that we are inside here, as I said, we're going to be mining in Bitcoin with our mining hardware. So I'm going to come here. They have this very handy calculator that we're going to be using to see an estimation of our revenue. So we press on it, and then here we have to insert the hash rate of our mining hardware. As it is stated on the technical specifications of our mining hardware, we're going to be contributing to the pool with 95 terahashes per second. Now the fee here is 4%. We're just going to leave it here as a default, so we're not going to modify it. And also it automatically here inserts the network difficulty. We're also going to leave it as a default right now, although you can mess around a bit with it to foresee how would your revenue change. So guys, in the mining pool I just showed you, most of the options for mining, you get a fixed payment as long as you commit your computing power, regardless of whether you solve the block or not. So it is a fixed payment, and in this case per month you will be receiving 0.012 Bitcoin, which is approximately $300 at the current Bitcoin price, and per year you will be receiving 0.15 Bitcoin, which is approximately $3,600 at the current Bitcoin price. So at the current Bitcoin price you would have a return of the initial investment after 13 months. Now guys, just to remind you that the return of the initial investment would be after 13 months only if the Bitcoin price would remain exactly at the same level it is. If it would go down, the return of investment time it would be longer, and if the Bitcoin price goes up, the return of investment time will be obviously shorter. Alright guys, so what conclusion can we get from here? Well, first of all, we decided to mine Bitcoin. Second of all, we decided to use a hardware called the Bitcoin Miner S19, and in this example we are using an electricity cost of $0.14 per kilowatt hour, although as I already mentioned, you can get it much cheaper in other places in the globe, approximately 2 to 3 to even 4 times cheaper. So in this example, the total expenses in 3 years are $15,700 using a kilowatt hour at the price of $0.14 per kilowatt hour. In that case, you would get 0.45 Bitcoin for $15,700, and if you live in places with cheaper electricity, you would get 0.45 Bitcoin for perhaps $10,000 or even less. So now, of course, when we are in a bear market, all of this seems to not be very attractive for some people, but actually for me it is. I mean, perhaps in 1 year we start again the next bull market. So yeah, when the Bitcoin price is above $60,000 again, this would definitely be a good deal, especially if you start mining at the current prices. But I guess you can already see that mining is not ideal if you are planning to only invest like $200, or if you are someone who wants to do it just for a very short amount of time, as it takes initially some time to start paying off the hardware. But then the good news is that after you have paid off the hardware, it is considered to be fairly profitable and really very little time consuming, as you barely have to do anything. Once you are up and running, you are literally earning Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies 24/7, even when you are sleeping or at the beach. It sounds too ideal, but that's the truth. And let's not even talk about how much profitable the whole situation is when you pay very little per kilowatt hour used. Now, said all of that, I hope you can see that the profit could be much more or much less depending on your electricity price. And also, I would really like to emphasize that you should have a very good understanding of the crypto project to avoid any unexpected event, like for example the Bitcoin halving, where the miner rewards will be reduced by half, or Ethereum changing to proof of stake very soon. If you don't know about these kind of things, you may end up losing a lot of money and very frustrated about mining, while if done correctly should be a beautiful journey. The last thing that will ultimately make a difference is, are you thinking of mining and selling immediately to fiat, or are you actually accumulating for the long-term holding, because it is one thing to mine and sell at $20,000 and another thing mining at $20,000 but selling, for example, at $120,000. Said all of that, I really encourage you to go down below in the comments and ask me any questions you may have, or simply let me know what do you think about crypto mining in general. Now, if you found this video useful and you feel like you learned something, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one.